Welcome back. So we have gotten through quite a bit. We have shown you the different tracks, roughly how we recorded them. We've gone through kind of a quick mix, then going back into each section: guitar, bass, drums, vocals. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get to a position where we are ready to actually do a little bit more finalizing. Some of that has to do with cleaning up. All these tracks, like for example, a lot of the guitar tracks are running through amplitude or things like that. So what we want to do is we want to kind of flatten them out, freeze them. You can do two things. You can either freeze them or you can stem them. I prefer to freeze them because you can then unfreeze them and go back into your original settings. One of the reasons I like to do the freezing is because I want to now, at the end, some people do it depends what you're doing. Like the vocals and stuff like that could have been cleaned up from the start. So that means all those little intro pieces, just as before you start singing, where there's a bit of noise and mic noise and all these things, cut them off, blend them in, get the volumes in and all that little bits of fixing that you want to do. So we're going to do that now, and we're going to do that quite quickly because it really is a quick process. So we'll start with the guitar. As you can see here, you need to make sure that everything is kind of like okay, so that it freezes like a current snapshot of that track. It also makes the whole mixing process faster. And again, to my ears, mixing from a finished WAV file sounds as if it mixes better than if you have all the effects applied to it. Okay. You can argue that all day long. That's my opinion. Anyway, so what we'll do is we'll start with the guitar. Now, we've got rhythm left and right, and then additional rhythm with melodies left and right. We've got some feedback here over this corner. I'll actually zoom that out because I know my face is going to be in the way. This here is basically just feedback that we're going to implement. These are the three bass tracks, and that is the vocals. So the bass tracks stay unaffected. We're going to also not freeze the drums. So I literally just select them, right click, and freeze the tracks to mono. Am I? Yes. So these tracks are going to be frozen to mono because they are literally just mono tracks. The lead tracks are going to be frozen into stereo, and the reason is we've got chorus and delay effects which go left and right, so we want a stereo track for that. 52 seconds. Let's suffer through this together. One of the reasons we have to freeze the tracks that go through any sort of amp sim is where you want something to fade in or out. You can automate it, obviously, but I find that I try and automate as little as possible, because once you've put an automation line into something, after the fact trying to just put the overall volume higher or lower is a bit of an issue. So I don't like doing that. I prefer, there we go. So those are now frozen. Always have a quick look at your frozen tracks to make sure that they didn't peak or they're not too quiet. Something would have gone wrong if they are. So here's the lead one now. The lead one needs to be frozen as a stereo track. Looks like there were some peaks there. We'll go into them later and see. We'll also freeze these guys. This is the three bass tracks. This is also going to open up a lot of CPU power again, because it's not applying all those effects in real time. Okay, last ones. Yeah, we can just, these have to be all done in stereo. Reason being, some of the reverb effects and delay effects obviously go left and right, so they have to be kind of done in stereo, ideally. I have minor peaks here and there, that's not the end of the world. See here, there's a plus 18, plus 1.8. That should be fine. Okay, sweet. So now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the tracks. Let's open them up a bit. If we untick this, so we want that first one to be there. What I usually do is I take the snap off so I can get nice and close to where I want to be. Okay. The vocals usually need the most cleanup because you can actually, because they are mic'd, they will have a lot more dirt in them. We're basically just going to clean all this up. If you do it from the beginning, that's fine. This is a bit tedious, but you can see where this is going. And this is what I mean. If you have fade outs like this, you can clean them up a little bit this way. I'll show you another thing why this is a good idea to do this after the fact, because it actually, you can still make some decisions at the end of this. So for example, how long your fade out is. We'll do that with the guitars in a minute. Okay. So this is the chorus and the backing vocals. And what we're going to do here is we are going to decide where they end. So these are different lengths. So we're going to go according to the shortest one. and we are going to see, so now they are equal, and we'll do the same with this one. So we'll go to the shortest one, which is around about here. I always like to try and keep to a timing, so not on the grid but around the grid, so that it kind of always falls within, roughly within a certain timing. And I can look at the wave structure here and see roughly where I want, you know, that kind of dip to start. And we'll do the same here. You can see there's some crap here we can now cut out. There we go. Now if you've got noisy signals and stuff, you can even be more pedantic and cut all that noise out by doing that and really clean up tracks. But if you've got a half decent noise floor, then you wouldn't have to worry about it. So here we go again. So this is where, let's just get a little bit more space. This is all very worthwhile, guys. Again, you can literally do all this cleanup right from the start, but because I try and make a few adjustments while I'm doing this, I have a tendency to wait. Now here's a good example. So we've got, I want these to all end at the same time, so we go to the shortest one is here, and if you look, it's actually right on this marker. So let's go for that marker. And then actually these two could be going on this marker. Oops. Okay. Rough, but you can see what I'm trying to do. Again, some noise right in the beginning there that we can now cut out, fade in. You can make the same decision here. These two can be shorter this time, and the backing vocals can be longer. You can see how I try to pull them at least roughly the same length. So I think these are about here. Not 100% sure. But they're going to be fading out anyway, so whatever is left at the bottom will be very quiet in the mix. There's another decision we need to make when it comes to the whole production side of things, and that is where the lead ends is right here. So there's the lead starting. So do we actually want that vocals to be that long? So I'll show you what I mean. I don't think we do. Realistically, we should cut it off right here. To make space for the little lead bit. keep these slightly longer because they're quieter. So now we only have the backing vocals dragging over into the lead. Yeah. So we're actually going to cut that off there. Makes more sense. Right. So this is different because this is at the end. Nope, I think we'll do exactly the same. Cut the two loud ones off right here. So that's what I mean by waiting to the end. You can make a couple of kind of production decisions at the same time. Let's quickly look at the guitars because there's a couple of things I want to do here. Right, so classic. So again, this is something that I had in mind from the start. So I'm going to cut this off all the way. Where am I? So just that noisy bit off, that noisy bit off. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean these open batches. I want it really quiet, and I want this guitar to start in intervals. So as you can see, it starts here. So I want one to be double the length. So this one starts here. This one starts about here. Now if there's more time, so now we've got that staggered, and I was thinking of doing that from the start. Now we can even stagger it more. It's maybe from here and here. No, here. Same goes for here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out because I want there to be space here. So this is going to start from here. Oops, 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 oops. Shite. Right. This is going to fade out. It has to stop before that next note, so we're going to do it a bit earlier. Okay, and then there's another piece where we need that to happen, which is over here. So this is gonna get cut. So we only have one guitar doing the muting. I actually think they should cut right here. Now I want to show you something else, why I recorded all this here. Because this doesn't sound so good. That just kind of rings out into crap. So from here, and add a marker, and now we're going to see which of these we like the feedback. Here's one nice one. So literally just gonna do that. Now we'll just listen to the one side. The next one. So this way, what we're gonna do now is literally okay. That's that. Now after doing this, we're gonna have some of the volumes and EQs have changed slightly after the thingy, after the freezing, so we might have to make some adjustments, and we will do that. The next video will just be basically the final mix and the master bus. That's that. Thank you.